Alright, there we go. One small coughing fit later. Welcome, dear viewers, to the 5th round of the ARC NASCAR Heat Cup Series. And tonight we have a bit of a road course race on offer. This is probably the closest I'll get to my old job, so to speak. Especially with the way that the next-gen car is, it might as well be like an oversized GT3 car. But Sonoma Raceway plays host to the Wine Country 175 here for the fifth race of the season. No one else can see it. Qualifying did just get done over in the actual lobby, so I simply must wait for the correct time to actually join so I don't end up on the racetrack. Sort of a smaller-ish field than is normal. I think still more than Richmond had, but not a big car count. We're looking at, I think, 16 or 17 drivers tonight. Which, I mean, I guess is more than I'm used to from Project Cars, where 11 was considered a good day, but here 12 is considered a terrible showing, attendance-wise. It seems as though Alex Harassas, whatever, the 6th of Heredia is the pole sitter, just as I believe he was at Richmond. I'm also seeing Stephen Maggio, who was not in the previous race, take second over AJ Knickel, third in this qualifying session. Pole was a 31.9. For some reason I imagined we'd be lapping faster. I don't know why. I guess probably because my brain was thinking of the other Sonoma layout that takes the carousel and stuff out, which is I think what they use in real life now. Again, should never have changed in my opinion, but here we are. So basically the second I see the indicator to join the race, we will get things going here. I believe they're waiting for somebody in the lobby. I have to wait until the until they start loading into the race before I can actually join, because that is the way you get into the spectator camera, as opposed to it being a dedicated separate thing like in the F1 games and even in P-Cars 2. If you're joining me sooner, I'm going to be on the track, and we don't want that. Nobody wants to look at my driving, especially not when I haven't played Heat 5 in several months. But I know just enough about NASCAR to call myself a broadcaster. I'd certainly prefer to be in the booth for some sort of road course racing, like typical kind, like GT, but... or really just anything. GT, F1, IndyCar... even Rallycross, I'm probably better with that, but NASCAR is definitely the thing that I just don't really get into the mentality of quite as well. It looks like they are in the race, so I will now bring up the invitations. All of the, 17 of them that I have received in the last half hour. You know, a 15-car grid. We can get a brief look at the starting grid here. Yeah, I knew most of this already. I did not notice they were fourth. Whoops. You know, we'll pop in properly now. And you head into, I almost called it the actual event name, the Wine Country 175, which sounds like that'd be one of those event names I'd see on, NASCAR 06 for, the fantasy tracks. Stuff like Door County 150 or the Cherry Blossom 250, I think they were. I wonder if the guys in that pit lane, that's actually if that's not complete and comprehensive gibberish or what. And here we go, into the Geico restart zone. We are green from Sonoma Raceway. Alex Heredia and Stephen Maggio lead us to the green flag. A pair of Fords on the front row. and then a Toyota and a Chevy directly behind them. Expect to see a lot of spins and a lot of just small mistakes adding up here, such as just often the case. We've already got people putting the bumper to each other. Steven trying to rattle Heredia's cage, heading up the uphill S's, but he's none too fazed by it. Jackson Altman got ahead of AJ on the start. Ayrton Frederick is running in 5th, which is a surprise qualifying from him. Mind the carousel. This corner is nonsense in this game. The car wants to just bottom out here and basically turn into a lowrider, and you just kind of have to hope to God the game is nice to you. Bit of grass on the tires of the 11 and the 19 respectively. Some of these, many of these drivers were not at the Richmond race. And a couple of them back here, Heitzman, Usman, I think is the 24, and Tanner Waskevich did not qualify. They joined right afterward, just like I did. It's already a little spread out of the front. AJ with a really good right-hand kink there. He's going to have a chance at Altman into the final corner. And Jackson's going to effectively just lay over and let it be. Not going to put too much effort into fighting that at the end of the first lap of racing. And now AJ's already looking at 2nd place. He's going to out-drag Steven Maggio with relative ease as well. And he's up to 2nd place now. I'm not really sure how we got a run like that. I just got very confused by notifications on my tablet. He's kind of a little bit more up and down the field. I'm trying to remember what his name is. It's not, who is... Oh, this is Marcus Snow, I believe. I think. Jojo Heitzman is already making his way up the field, slowly but surely. He and I believe Musa as well, they're both pretty quick drivers, so... Actually, Usman's making his way up the field better than the 20 car is. Tanner's not... Well, actually, no, he's ahead of... No, he's making his way through the best. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's a line from Kinnickle. I don't... There really aren't a whole lot of track limits enforced at Sonoma. There's really not really many places here you can really cut and gain, like, a lasting advantage. So the game has never bothered, and so I don't think we're gonna bother either. Oh, Steven gives him a little tap on the exit of the kink there. That's more of a sweeper, actually. Ayrton Frederick's joining the show. He gets down the inside of the 51 and forces the door open. And it looks like that'll be a drag race up towards turn 1A that the 51 is gonna win. And amongst all of this, Alex Heredia is just walking away, just like he did at the start of Richmond last night. What? Last week. 7 days. Altman versus Tate, that's going to be another formality. Jackson Tate moving into the top 5, I believe, with that one, after starting just inside the top 10. Okay, he's not in the top 5, he's in like 6th or 7th, but still. He's on his way up, to say the least. He must not have had a great qualifying lap. People only had basically 2 chances to get a good lap in the qualifying session, unlike any other track where you'd have as many as 8, even at like intermediates, or heaven forbid a short track where you could sometimes get double-digit laps in a qualifying session. Trying around the outside of his teammate Blakey Tuggy in the night. Was that Tuggy or Tuggle? I can't remember. Blakey in the 19. I'd have to check the Discords quickly. The Discords, yeah. Yeah, I also just confirmed, yeah. The 8 is Marcus Snow. I got him confused with somebody else for a second. Don't know how, I know that username. He's in GT7. Steven Maggio is now putting the pressure on Kinnickle once again after getting clear of Frederick a couple laps ago. We were only on lap... Oh, now lap 4. Because my neck just cracked. That was really great. AJ is alone against all Fords, pretty much. There's a Ford leading way up the road. And then he's got 3 Fords in his mirrors, including the leader's teammate, and then he has, well, the rest. Jackson Altman's the leading Chevrolet, and he's just, I think, defending 7th from Blakey. And he will do so unsuccessfully. Yeah, that isn't L, it's Tuggle, not Tuggy. I don't know what I'm yapping. Oh my god, that's a breaking point selection for the 43. You can go as wide out there as you need to, admittedly. Oh, but he's very sideways on the exit heading down the hill, so that's going to really just put him further down. He hasn't really gotten anything going since the green. What is this in the S's? We got Ayrton Frederick taking full advantage of this chaos. He's up to 3rd now. DiMaggio just thrown completely off. Jackson Tate is in the picture. He's snuck his way to P5, despite saying in the pre-race that he had no confidence at all, pretty much. What in the world? A double overtake in turn 11 for the 51 of Steven Maggio. And AJ's been thoroughly robbed. He's going to try and get back to 3rd here over the 27 car. And his teammate Jackson Tate's going to try and follow suit, but getting anywhere in the outside lane can be tricky at any track. Late braking from the 27, but the ideal line. Now it's his line, though. Around was something down there. I don't know if that was the 6 or what that was. It was indeed not the 6, so that was like a lap down car. I didn't get it. I didn't look down in time to see it on my point of view streamer. Jonathan Juergensmeyer is my sort of, I guess, in-race reporter. He's just the guy that I'm watching his stream, so I know what lap we're on. Kind of gives a secondary view of the battle for my eyes only as well, but even if I'm watching somebody else, like right now. Even if it's also about 6 seconds delayed because it's a YouTube stream, but still. It's there. Altman is still just about hanging on with this front group. In spite of his downtrend in recent, or basically since the start of the race. I don't know what kind of a lead or gap this must be from Heredia to Steven Maggio. But that's gotta be close to 10 seconds, right? Like, that is obscene what this man is doing. He's just Max Verstappen, but stock car, I guess. And that is a huge slide for Frederick. Juergensmeyer does very well to avoid that. I just caught that in the stream, too. That was... Yeah, he definitely saw that one coming before it even happened. Attrition is a factor here more than it is anywhere else, and believe me, I've done enough ARC NASCAR heat races to know that most races in this series, in this game for that matter, are wars of attrition and just staying alive, staying out of trouble, and staying off the wall. There aren't really many walls to hit here, but you can still definitely spin Altman going down the inside of Juergensmeyer at the hairpin at the end of the drag strip. Will not quite get it done. They're gonna tour the S's too wide. This is always very sketchy with the elevation changes. You just suddenly violently throw a car in any odd direction, and suddenly we have a caution. Blakey I think he gave Altman a nudge there, heading through the right-hander, and that only hurt Juergensmeyer much more than did the 43. It actually helped the 43 by that margin. So Altman's gonna, I believe, get back to, what is this, 4th? 5th. Because, right, Jackson Tate is 4th. So, yeah, Altman gets back into the top 5 with that. Juergensmeyer and Toggle will continue to fight for 6th place behind him, which it looks like the 19 will win that fight. Frederick still kind of sitting there. He had his high highs, and now he's having some pretty low lows at the moment. I say that like 8th place is terrible, but he was running, I think, 3rd for like a brief second, so to be in 8th with only one small spin and a couple of, well, being overtaken a couple of times on pace alone is not good. Altman is off the track. Speaking of mistakes, that's going to demote him back to 8th place behind the people of question. The people of interest here. What the heck? That's some lag, or he just has a stick drift or something there? He just turned dead into the wall. That was weird. Checking with the leaders, the front runners. Kaneko versus Maggio continues, but it's not quite as competitive as the absolute chaos back here. Wrong ones. 5th and 6th here, the 19 and 17, have gotten away, courtesy of Altman and Frederick flailing around a little bit. And now Musa Usman and Tanner Waskevich have joined the party. They're a little harder to get the camera on because they're all the way at the bottom of the running of the driver list. Oh, that's not a lot of space. The 24 forcing his way in up the hill at 1B, but still not making anything complete. This is just a big train, really. I'm lost. Yeah, we have 2nd, 3rd, and 4th kind of escaping this group. 5th and 6th, they're kind of a little ways away, and then Altman's leading what must be at this point a 6-car train. Him, 27, 24, 22, 20. What the heck? What's with all the 20s back here? Defense from Ayrton Frederick, wherever he is on the driver list. But the door shown by Musa Usman, they're getting very physical over 8th place, and Ayrton Frederick is not impressed. And neither is Musa Usman. This is the NASCAR stuff we're used to seeing. Just throwing haymakers on the racetrack. But they haven't collected anybody else. That's sort of the rule. That's like the biggest difference between this and the average GT3 race. This kind of stuff is allowed, so long as you don't collect anybody else or cause some big conniption, which they haven't yet, but if they keep throwing punches like that on the racetrack, we're going to see some disaster soon enough. Usman finally muscles his way ahead, but the 27's not done yet either. Down the inside, he sticks about half his car. He's dwarfed under braking, and he has the worst line, though, so he may not have any say in it anymore, unless he gets really physical. I should mention the first stage break is at the end of lap 12, going to 13 as Jojo gets super sideways out of the hill there. That's like the hardest corner on the track besides the carousel. The car just wants to come undone at the top of that crest. And I should know, I've done it. Looking like a good run through the carousel for the 27. He can take the fight back to the 24 car. Rapidly changing lanes. Down the inside, Musa turns in on him, but Ayrton Frederick's not phased. He's going to get back to his previous position of, I think, 8th at this point. I'm like counting the cars in my head. Yeah, Blakey and then Juergensmeyer and Altman are about to battle for 6th place behind the 19. But now we've got Tanner versus, wrong way. Tanner versus Musa for 9th place. Musa is just the epicenter of chaos, as I think Jojo Heitzman just went into the pits there. It's an interesting call. Yeah, he must have. May put him a lap down. I'm not sure how that's going to go. Unless he's the leader to do that, or the lead car doing that. Luke Allen is also going in at the same time. Some kind of interesting strategy call, or perhaps they both have damage that needs to be dealt with. Altman's in the pits as well, and it looks like his car is damaged, so that makes a little more sense. Oh, and Jackson Tate just runs his teammate off at the carousel. He's gonna let off his throttle, whatever. Slow down. I can't talk. He's slow down and not take the spot from his teammate that way. And now we have Ayrton Frederick must have fallen back again. He's been overtaken by the 24, and now the 22 is keeping him honest. And they made a bit of contact down the hill as well. Tanner sending it down the inside at the hairpin, almost getting into the 24, and gets crossed over pretty simplistically by Frederick. Sort of mid-pack battle no longer exists now that Jackson Allman's pit. Jackson Tate is now the one to pit. There's multiple Jacksons, and we've seen a lot of Jacksons in our time. Aren't pits closed with 2 to go on the stage? Or am I dumb? Or is this lap... No, this is lap 11, no? Hold up, what? Okay, so one thing I just noticed, now that I'm looking at this, Juergensmeyer is battling Steven Maggio. There are 45 to go, so this is... Okay, so that is the start of 11, so I guess that is allowed, but I believe pits should be closed now. So drivers thinking long-term, pitting early, foregoing stage point credit, but having been put in a better position for the end game, so to speak. While AJ probably banking on some kind of yellow flag in the future, other than the one that'll come by default from the stage, is not doing that, however. Somebody's off. Maybe that was the 41 of Scotty. I noted his last name before and then forgot it. I'll have to check that again under the stage break for clarification's sake. Yes, I believe that this will be... this is the last lap of the stage that AJ is coming up to start here. Is that Blakey there? Yeah, Blakey's in second because of this. Juerg is third, I believe. And Usman is fourth, followed by Frederick, and then others. So, stage points battle here, ongoing. Interesting that they're putting AJ on the alternate strategy to get stage points, 44Rs, and not somebody who was in a different position. AJ was in a decent spot with stage points. I'm surprised they didn't have like JoJo try this, or maybe Blakey to make up for lost points from missing races. I guess Blakey is doing it, but I'm surprised AJ is, really. But ultimately, we all know that when everything flips around in this pit cycle, we're going to be looking at Alex Redia back in the lead, surely. Unless I'm missing critical information. Maggio is noticeably without competition. He must have been spun out or something, or just made a mistake and I missed. Out of turn 11 here, I believe this will end the stage, and AJ Knickel is the leader. He will win stage 1. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe he's slowing it down. Yeah, that is stage 1 in the books. A 1-2 in said stage for 44R, the 18 and 19 cars. Who was third in it? Looks like that may have been, Frederick? Ayrton Frederick? Third in the stage? I don't know. I'll know when they all line back up. AJ Knickel is having some form of malfunction. He's sitting in the sand at the moment. You've had a problem with this wheel or trying to press some buttons on something. I'm not sure which exactly. He is taking his position back, so it was clearly some sort of indeterminate issue there. Yeah, it looks like it was Knickel, Tuggle, Frederick, who else? Usman Juergensmeyer as the top 5 here in the first stage. But obviously, the one that is like the net leader, so to speak, is the 6 of Heredia, who was among those who pit towards the end of Stage 1. So they will probably cycle back to the lead here, as I imagine they'll be making no pit stops for those who did pit, or if not no pit stop, certainly probably a shortened one to top up on fuel rather than taking tires. I could also be completely wrong on that, I don't know. I just kind of feel like that's a strategy call that was made for, you know, lose points in the stage, gain points at the end. Because that, you know, winning the race is worth more points, obviously, so. And the whole playoff contingent. And if his performance at Richmond was any indicator to me, something tells me Heredia has probably already gotten a win and may already be locked in. Where's the standings at? Standings, there we go. They were posted earlier, but I didn't actually look at them until just now. Oh, we got some pixels. I don't know how to read any of that. Never mind. Alright. Okay, so every single car is going into the pits except for the 6 of Heredia. I believe he's the only one on me. Okay, no, he's not. I just don't have peripheral view. Yeah, so basically I was right. So the ones that pit in Stage 1 will not pit at the end, and they will cycle back to the race lead. So Altman, Tate, Heredia, and I believe Luke Allen is in the far back there. They will be the ones staying out, starting 1, 2, 3, and 4 under this caution, whilst all the stage winners, basically, the stage leaders, you know, have to actually do their service now, because you're not going to get very far after this if you don't pit now, so. I'm pretty sure I just saw in the pit stop animation on Jurgensmeyer's stream that his crew members did not secure the rear tires. Or the left rear tire. They didn't actually, like, put the lug nuts on there. That wasn't animated. This is kind of a weird thing to do, to be watching a stream while streaming. Especially so when you figure it's a stream of the thing that I am streaming. Kinda like using this camera under caution. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it just kinda reminds me of like the pace car views you'd see in older games. Oh yeah, the choose cone rule exists. Yeah, so the choose cone is determined by the center line on the drag strip to choose your lane. So we have Heredia choosing the right lane, etc. So it'll be the 6 and the 43 as the front row. I should probably get back to there we go. And no reason we shouldn't be green this time. I don't really know where Altman just went. I think he just I don't know. I was confusing, I'm not gonna lie. For some reason some cars went to the other route that you'd usually have used on the short layout of Sonoma, like the old route. It goes on the outside of the O'Reilly. I don't know what that was about, but yeah, we'll be green this time. Whenever, you know, it's the same restart precaution procedures Just somewhere in the big blue box right before the start-finish line. Let me adjust myself in my chair and get ready for some more road course action here. Get my neck to stop cramping up, that'd be nice. It'll be interesting because the left and right lanes are pretty even on the race start here, I would say. Altman's going to have the shorter run into turn 1, but the 6 of Heredia is going to have the better line on the way into it. And we are green once more from Sonoma. And that's a really good jump for the 6. Altman just left in the dust there, so it doesn't really matter because Heredia is going to have the whole track to himself going into 1. And Altman's is gonna barely stay on the track. Jackson Tate will move to P2 with that one. Everybody jostles 2x2 for the mid-pack here heading up the S's. Looks like everybody maintained traction. That's always crucial, obviously. It is important to not lose control. Yeah, no, really? You don't say. A bit of an off-track excursion for Altman. Rejoins into Jurgensmeyer, forcing himself and Blakey off the circuit. Bit of a clumsy maneuver from Altman. And that's going to put Jurgensmeyer right at the back, pretty much. Him and Blakey. Not going to be a popular maneuver, I would say. Luke Allen has not shown much pace today. He also didn't run qualifying, so he's put himself at the front to, I guess, see what happens, I suppose. He's never been a particularly slow driver, but I have a hunch that he's gonna soon be eaten alive by the drivers that have been running near the front all day. Jackson Tate is kind of keeping the 6 honest. He's by no means threatening to drive away from him or overtake him, but he's not letting the 6 escape like he did at the first stage either. Pretty single file at the moment. Do have to figure the drivers that did pit on stage 1, they are going to be on about 2 or 3 lap older tires. So it will come back at the end. Assuming there is no such similar stage strategy stuff going on. That's quite a bit of alliteration. Luke Allen trying to keep fellow admin at bay, AJ Knickel. He's going to try to sneak around the outside of the 7. The 7's going to find some grass and be hopelessly out of control. Be overtaken by 3 cars in a single turn. That's not the prettiest look. The 24 is peaking. He's going to try and join the fight for 3rd place. But for the moment, it will be... No, it will not be Altman. He's going to go wide at the hairpin. AJ is going to arrive at his doorstep. Just like the Amazon package. He's not going to get it done, though. And behind them, Luke tried to take the fight back to the 24 for 5th place, but could not get anywhere. It's a weird... That's what caught my throat there. It's something, I mean my own spit. Oh my word, down the inside goes the 51 of Stephen Maggio. I'm having a moment trying to find him on the run, on the driver list. There he is. I should be commenting, right? I just spaced out there. Apologies. I just thought of some random stuff that was on my mind earlier. Anyway, not really relevant. Probably know there's no real battle. Everyone, like I said, everyone's running pretty single file. For the most part, the 6's starting to get away, but for the most part, it's all pretty close together, but there's just nobody going for anything, except for apparently Altman and Usman. Usman? Moose. Who just... they just went too wide through the hairpin. I wouldn't be fooled by all the dirt that's being thrown around. That's not actually where their cars are running. That's just like a bit of desync in the broadcast. Admittedly, the desync is much, it can be much worse. Last week we had the broadcast show as if Tanner had disconnected when he was actually running like 4th or 5th and had placed 4th, I believe, at Richmond last week. When I thought he had disconnected with like several laps to go and, was not on the track. It seems as though... Oh, no, he's not. Never mind. That's a lie. Bush has not gone anywhere. He has, in fact, lost a position to Altman. And Altman's trying to gain the next position on the 18, but he will not succeed there. Oh, but he'll give AJ the bumper at the downhill hairpin, and that's going to move him down 3 places. That's not going to be appreciated there. He'll gain one of them back on Maggio heading towards the carousel, but the Canadian driver is going to be a little bit miffed about that. Understandably so. He got run off the road. Nobody likes that. Down the inside of the 24. 24 breaks late and pretty much clamps him at the corner entry there, or at the apex. Sideways on exit is the 18 as well, so it's only getting worse. As he is now outside of the top 5 even, down in 8th, I believe? Yeah. And I should be looking at the stream, yeah, 8th. Because now I can just look at Jurgensmeyer, who's right behind him. So much defense, Tanner's just muscled out of the way. Immense blocking from Maggio to keep the 22 behind, and that cost him, I believe, a spot. It did briefly, but he got back clear of Knickel on the exit of the final turn. Should be looking up here. Blakey Tuggle, how did he get back here? Holy crap. He was involved in the incident early in the run, and he's back here. Also, JoJo is apparently out of the race. I don't... just saw him in the pit lane there. Yeah, Heredia's gone again. Jackson Tate held on for a bit, but he couldn't stay with him forever. Bit of chaos at the carousel. Multiple guys. You can't really go too wide there. Just the way that you end up two-wheeling at the entrance to the turn. You're going to push wide, and if there's somebody to your outside, you're going to run them off into the sand. We saw that earlier with Jackson Tate trying to pass AJ Knickel. And it just is always going to happen. It's relatively calm now. No, it is not. Never mind. Maggio making a bit of a bumping into the 19 of Blakey. But with a really bad exit out of the last turn, he might instead be under threat from Blakey's teammate, AJ. As we begin lap 20 of the race. I believe 6 more away from the end of stage 2. You know, we are very much just going through the motions now. Altman is third, and Tate is a very distant second at this moment. Yeah, Tate is in the middle of the carousel while our race leader is heading up the hill about to brake for the hairpin. So, about an entire straightaway's advantage. This is definitely looking like it's just simply the 6 cars race to lose, but I thought that at Richmond, and then he disconnected from the lobby, so he, therefore lost and handed Jojo Heitzman the W. Heitzman is now the one who's disconnected. Somebody's talking in one of the other channels. For stewarding, I'm trying to broadcast. Throw me off. I'm trying to look at Jurgensmeyer's stream. Apparently Jojo Heitzman was Unwell, I guess we'll say. He was high. It's legal where he is, I believe, but he was high, and he couldn't drive very well because of that. Rick one, please, I'm trying to commentate. Hush. Jackson Tate just had a very awkward, no, dear viewer, I do not know because we are on PlayStation 5. I don't even have an Xbox. No, PlayStation 4 and 5, I guess. So I don't know if they're down for Xbox, because I'm not on it. I think everyone's just kind of going through the motions. The mid part of the race. Probably not the one you're seeing. I've like got disconnections, yeah, but that's different from what you're describing. Oh, big bump from the 18 to the 51. AJ, I think, missed his braking point or lost control under braking, which instigated that impact. Usman is trying to get up to the 43 of Altman. They've stayed about this distance apart for a while now. It's, like I said, this is just the mid part of the race. Everybody's just trying to get through the sort of the dull middle ground and be there at the end, I guess. Yeah, no, I've never seen that. And check maybe like something like Reddit, maybe. See if anybody else is asking the same questions right now. There's like a Heat 5 subreddit. That was close to contact. AJ is having some braking problems or something. He's getting very close to spearing people at these heavier braking zones. He hit the 51. He hit the 51 at the turn 11 in the last lap, and he almost got to the back of his teammate at that hairpin there. I'm like starting to lose track of this race. I'm not gonna lie. Like I know the lap we're on and everything. There's like 3 or 4 to go in the stage, but there's just nothing. Everybody is just kind of on their own vices right now. I'm just trying to get to the end of the stage and focus on the next one. Pun not intended. But that mindset is, obviously it's a good idea when you're in the car, but it doesn't make for the best broadcast if there's nobody battling, Like, Gap 24 is pretty close to the 43. You might see something desperate from him. I have known him for maneuvers like that. And it would be worth an extra point in the stage. God, Jackson Tate is so far away from third place here. Just saw him in the very distance at the end of the camera shot. And that shot, he wasn't even in frame, ever. And Heredia is about to cross the finish line while they're at the hairpin. So that is 2 to go in the 2 to go in the stage for the leader, anyway. Oh, it's Tanner up there. I'm like, who's that in front of Jurgensmeyer? I thought it was AJ, but like, no, AJ's here. He's running in 6th behind his teammate. Or... Huh? Wait. Okay, so... Oh, because Jackson Tate pit. I was, like, so confused. I was like, wait, how is he in 8th now? Or how is he in 6th? Like, I looked down at Jurgensmeyer's thing, and I saw that he was in 8th. I'm like, okay, he's been there. But... yeah, no, I'm just a fool. I'm like, how did he get here? He gets Jackson pit. He gave up his second place stage points. And, who's gonna go for track position? I just yawned there, wondering what that was. So that means that this is now your top 5, and AJ's ahead of his teammate. I have missed this completely. Yeah, so 6, 43, 24, 18, 19 is the top 5 running. And then the 51, then the 22, and then the 17. So yeah, now I've got it all lined up. I'm not sure where Jackson has come out. Probably not in a great spot, if I must be honest. Probably in the middle of nowhere. And probably not in the top 10 either, if I were to guess. Not much left to go for the second stage here from the One Country 175. Now that Alex did not make the call to pits at the end of the stage, he will have utterly crushed the second stage. It's not even a contest, if you were to ask me. Yeah, we get that panning shot there, and we can't even... I think that was second and third there, heading up the hill. Yeah. The battle for second rages on, though. Now Musa's going for it. He just went too wide with Altman up the top of the hill at the hairpin. But Altman with a really good set of S's. The 6 is going to win the stage. I don't think anybody's really questioning that. I'm just going to keep the camera here to see what transpires for second in it. Head up to turn 11. Does the 24 use the bumper or just send it on the braking? Oh, he tries the bumper, but he cannot move the 43 enough. So it'll be Altman second, Musa third. And then it looks like AJ Knickel P4 and Blakey Tuggle P5. Here at the end of stage 2, I do believe. Yes, that is definitely a caution speed. And now we have crested the halfway mark of the race, effectively. Got myself a drink, water. Something that you definitely need in a desert like this. Excuse me. It seems that the strategies for Luke didn't really pay off. He only got 9th in this stage. You can kind of look at the running order of everybody else. Yeah, Luke got 9th in the stage, and then Marcus got 10th, so he is the last one getting points here for stage 2. Now we just head to the end from here. A 30 lap, basically 30 lap, it's like 28 green flag laps, but basically a 30 lap venture from here to the checkers. It's definitely been the 6 cars race all day. Anything can happen though, and he is going to be pitting, so... He could lose that lead in the pit stops. I think he will, as there were a couple of cars that did pit at the end of stage 2, such as Jackson Tate. And he won't be pitting now, so... I don't believe we had anybody get lapped in that stage. We had the 41 get lapped, I believe, in stage 1. He was the only car, and that was because he spun a lot. He managed to minimize spins. Unless he is getting his lap back, I should probably double check that before I speak. No, he's right there, so yeah, everybody is here. He's not pitting, though, which is interesting. Even Jackson Tate, I think, is. Yeah, the 41 is alone in this department. Oh no, he is a lap down. He is flooring it. Okay, so then everybody is pitting. I'm not really sure what happened with Jackson Tate that he had to pit in. Perhaps he had some tire issues. Or no, wait, is that... That is him, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so never mind. He just wasn't with that group, and he is staying up. So that will give the 11 the lead. And I can say that without cringing, because it's not Denny Hamlin driving it. I just looked down to the broadcast, and I just saw... Or, not the broadcast. I'm in the broadcast. At my onboard stream from Jurgensmeyer, and I just watched his crew members get run over by a car. You'll love to see it. A rough stop for Steven Maggio by the looks of things. As we check back in here. Ayrton Frederick, too. He's at the very back. Oof. Oh, my finger just cracked there. I imagine the mic picked that one up. That was fun. Ow. That was not fun, actually. I correct myself. Ow. At least the one POV I know for sure is that Jurgensmeyer just picked up a spot on pit road. He got ahead of or two really. He got ahead of Maggio and Trevor. Trevor? Darn it. Tanner. He used to have a Trevor in the league. Not anymore. That was like a year ago or so now. More than that. A year ago. 2021 is a year ago. This just in. I am delusional. Choose cone ruin play. I didn't really look at who chose what though. I'm kind of an idiot. I was looking away. I was looking out the window. I can't imagine anybody was doing anything crazy. I don't think it shuffled too much. I don't know why some guys are going over there. So, same. I believe everybody is here, and I don't think we'd be waiting for the 41 even if he wasn't. Which I think that is him there at the back of this little bit. Yeah, it is. Okay, so everybody is here. It's a Smash Ultimate trailer all over again. I don't know. I'm yapping. So, now it'll be Jackson Tate in control whenever he decides to gas it up in the funny blue insurance box. And he's second now. And we are green from Sonoma for the final stage of racing here. And once again, it is a very good jump. Jackson Tate clear into one, albeit not by much. Altman and Heredia getting a little physical back there for P2. And Musa Usman spins across half the field. That is a 3-car wreck. Looking from Jurgensmeyer's POV, he just found that inside curb and left the 17 and 51 with nowhere to go to avoid that. So we have our first caution for cause here at Sonoma. Admittedly, we got pretty far with that one, so it can't really be too disappointed. Comfy my chair because we're going to spend another 3 or 4 minutes under this yellow flag, especially if we have any pit stops, which we probably will, because the 17 and 24 and 51, they definitely spun out far enough there that they would have hit that wall. Alright. As I space out again, I don't know why this time. My head was empty. I didn't even think about something when I was spacing out. I just didn't think. We'll see who decides to pit. There is a case being made for topping up on fuel here, and it will in fact be no one. Oh, AJ's gonna take. The front few tried to psych people out, and, well, I mean, they psyched me out, but AJ was the lead car that went in. And most of the cars behind him did follow. Only ones that didn't were, well, the ones ahead of him, and then a couple drivers that were displaced by the previous pit stops, or have just been not running, or just weren't really running where their pace shows and are looking to get some track position by not pitting. Such is the case with Eric Frederick and, to some extent, Tanner Waskovich. So yeah, or as I mean, I guess I could also put the camera there, duh. This is not the race off pit road, this is. It was not a very close race. I managed to keep looking at people who crashed. There we go. I don't think anything really changed back here, ultimately. The Chose Coon, yep. Ooh, don't say that out. Oh god. Raccoons. Yeah, I meant like choose a raccoon. I chose a raccoon. The Shoes Cone. It hasn't really affected. It's not like it's already moved anybody around. Everybody just kind of picks the lane they'd been in anyway, it seems like. And the field's bunched up again, once more with feeling. This time in the flip side, actually it did change something around. Heredia opted for the inside, no, the right lane, which actually netted second place to Jackson Altman. So 11:43 front row, still Jackson's control for when we get going here. The 41 is almost here. He'll be missing by inches, basically. What is the 24 doing? We're going very slowly to try and let the 41 get here, I believe. And that's instead just created a little bit of madness as the field tries to bunch back up before the restart zone. Looks like we'll just about do so, but it's not going to be pretty. And we are green again from Sonoma. This time we might get to turn 2. Let's find out. Tate is well clear into 1. And looks like, yeah, the 40, it's going to be the same as they came around. Oh, Heredia nearly botches it. So they will not be the same. He'll be returned to outside of the top half. And also forced into the sand by Luke Allen at the top of the hill. Yeah, Alex Heredia with that small mistake goes from 2nd to 9th. Bit of chaos back here. The 44R car is playing a bit of pinball. Somehow Jackson Tate lost the lead to Jackson Altman. Jackson versus Jackson. And now Tanner Waskovich is the one in 2nd place. He's been he's just kind of silently been running his day here, but he's suddenly found himself in with a chance to take the lead in the second half of running. Well, that's some very late braking, very different approaches to the final hairpin. AJ giving a slight door tap to his teammate Blakey there as the 44R cars run 3-4-5 behind our 2 leaders. Now we'll check to see how the 6 is getting along, trying to get back to where he used to be. He's now back to 8th, I believe. As in the background, Musa makes a pass on Steven for 9th. Yes, that is correct, me. Very sideways again for the 6. He does manage to stay on the road, and Luke Allen really missed that. He runs Luke Allen off the track, in fact. Make a little bit of payback for being squeezed off earlier, perhaps. He didn't spin, though, but he about rejoined straight into the 17, as I see on Jurgensmeyer's POV. Oh, we're looking for a battle for the lead here. What was that, Altman? Tanner down the inside. They touch doors. Jackson Tate trying to get back in it. Both he and his teammate Blakey are actually trying to get involved physically. Blakey's going to steal 2nd from this, catching Tanner completely off guard. No battle. Oh, my throat's going. Oh, no. Battling for 4th behind them as well is Blakey's teammates, Jackson and AJ. My God. Water. I can't, though, because there's battles going on right now. Why couldn't my voice started to go in the middle of, like, that incredibly dull stage 2? Why now? Oh, the car audio's gone. Still battling are the 18 and the 11. Now that's for 4th place. Looks like that's finally settled out. Now Blakey's right there on the diffuser of that 43 car. I can actually say that. They do have diffusers. They didn't in the past, really. Bit of a mess in the background there. I couldn't exactly pick out who, but somebody went off and caused a bit of an accordion effect in the back. Or not even the back, like the upper mid-pack, really. Just, you know, behind these guys, I should say. That's very risky. That's almost off the track for the race leader. Oh, looks like we might have a chance here. Blakey's alongside. He's going to have the long way around. It's tough to do. He stays there, though, and he's going to have the better line on the way into turn 1. He might just have the pass for the lead here. If my voice will cooperate. Tries the outside. That is a heck of a move. Blakey Tuggy to the race. Tuggle. Oh my god. Tuggle to the race lead. Why are there so many cameras that all look the same? We're on the outside of turn 1B. That's not something you do very easily with a car with this little traction. A bit of an excursion there for, I believe that was the 22, yes. And suddenly, the 6 has found himself back in the show. Oh, the 19 immediately throws it away at the carousel. Wherever he is on the list, there he is. He's back to where he started. He's trying to fend off his teammate Jackson for second. And he may not succeed. Oh! Third on track's not third on the list! Ah! I hate that so much. Yeah, Jackson Tate. Exactly. The broadcast camera is about the only thing here that's actually halfway decent. Everything else is just garbage, or non-existent in general. Already I just went on the inside of turn 11, not even on the track anymore, to try and get down Knickel's out inside, and still didn't really get anywhere. Looks like we may have a repeat of the Jackson and Jackson show. With, I believe, yeah, 22 laps to go here in the Wine Country 175. My word. A lot of wheel hopping there. Tate has a chance. Jackson has a chance on Jackson, but Jackson cannot get down Jackson's inside. Oh, but Jackson crosses him over, and Jackson will take the lead away from Jackson. Tate taking the lead away from the 43 of Altman with a really good run at the hairpin. And Altman just kind of missing it a little bit, really. So the track position call has paid off for the 11. He's back to the race lead despite a bit of an awkward middle ground after the restart. But Altman's not done yet, and there's nothing guaranteed now, because the 6 car is on his way back here. He's in 5th place, running almost 3 wide with the 244R cars here. AJ trying to keep his teammate at bay. May not work. Blakey might be about to repeat what he did to take the lead earlier, but now on his teammate for just 3rd place. And he's not going to pull it off. Goodness, Logan. Yeah, the 6 is here. Tanner's also still kind of nearby if things go really crazy. He isn't in a bad spot either. I should probably have my tablet plugged in. Have the stream running. It's kind of sucking the life out of it at the moment. What did I miss? Where did Jackson go? What is going on? I looked down for 10 seconds, put my tablet in, and suddenly AJ Knickel takes the lead away. Takes the lead away from the 43. Jackson Tate's down to 3rd. 43. Altman's just off in the Napa Valley. I don't even know where he went there. Another bad hairpin for the 43 car. Whoa, that was 2 wheels for the 22. It is now suddenly a 44R 1-2-3. As if you just got to keep the status quo. It doesn't matter what game it is or what track it is. If I'm broadcasting, 44R does well. It's just like a harsh fact of reality at this point, and I'm admittedly a little sick of it. I'm not gonna lie. Tate almost just tried to pass them both in one turn. I don't really know what his plan was there. Maybe his plan was to avoid contact. I'm not really sure. Sounds so weird. Oh, it's not the best exit for Knickel. A bit of contact between him and his teammate Blakey. Trying to cross him over and maybe even rub some of that yellow paint off. By the looks of things, they're getting physical for teammates. Up towards the carousel, we see some more madness. Will somebody wheel hop again? Probably. Oh yeah, it's Blakey. Oh my word, it's Blakey. He had to dive inside just to avoid flying off the track. Major had an awkward carousel as well. And, you know, all the while, the 6 car is still right there hanging with him, too. He's going to go down the inside. No, he's not. Oh, did Blake just put the bumper to AJ? He did. Through goes the 6 car. Never mind. He almost went through, but he actually went nowhere. And Jackson Altman will get himself back where? To 4th place. Following that absolute chaos. The 6 car still trying to sneak his way in there, but he's not going to get much done that way. Oh, big side bash. Altman's gonna force his way through. Through goes Heredia. Down the inside of 2 cars. He's gonna get another one, possibly, at the hairpin. No, he's not! And actually, oh, they're 3 wide on exit, and AJ gets it back on the exit there. AJ got Altman back for the right-hander at turn 11. Putting Jackson Altman in the wall, and Tanner's gonna benefit from that chaos. Oh boy. So Blakey Tuggle is now the leader in all of that just sheer madness. And there's the blue flag car. Wait, who's that up there? Oh, well, Blakey just sent Scotty to the stratosphere there at the top of the hill. And there's somebody up there. I think that's also Marcus. No, a huge punt from Jackson Tate. Sending Blakey right off at the carousel. Through goes the 6 car. Again! Alex Heredia back to the race lead as if nothing had ever happened, but oh my god, everything has happened. Marcus Snow up there as a lap car as well. And Jackson Tate tries to put himself in the position on the exit of the hairpin. He'll be at his bumper, but he's not going to be able to do much more than that at the moment. Unless the 6 makes a mistake, which he hasn't been making many of them today, other than the one he made that put him in the back in the first place. That's really been his only mistake today. And instead it's Jackson Tate making the error and opening the door for his teammate AJ to try and formulate an overtake. Tate has to move over to let his teammate exist, not put him in the pit wall. And with that, I think the 6 might be getting away. Although that lap car is going to be a factor. Marcus Snow, he knows his rights. He's not going to just lay over. And he's going to have forced Heredia around the long way and cut Tate off at the pass, literally. Oh god, the lap car is creating absolute chaos behind Tate as well. Everybody's getting clear of it little by little now, but for what little time it had present, it shuffled things around a little bit. It kept 11 in with a chance, basically. Are those pit stops or are those DNFs? I know 2 of them are DNFs, but I don't think the 7 and 3 are out of the race. Jackson Tate's still clanging onto the back of the 6 car, trying to put some pressure on, but he needs to, you know, needs to be not making his own mistakes. That is very wide for the 6 car, and I'm honestly surprised that doesn't cost him the lead. It's a good run through the right-hander. Can Jackson Tate? No, not even close to running at him. What was going on back here? Somebody just got speared on the exit of the right-hander there. I don't know who that was. Can't tell. Might have been... No, it wasn't the 51. Are we under yellow? We are under yellow. So whoever got speared there brought out a caution. Almost had a safety car. Wrong thing. We have a caution. We can Take a moment to take inventory. I can take a moment to grab a drink of water, blow my nose. Something I did notice right as the caution came out. Jackson Altman was in the pits right as it was called, I believe. I clicked by him when I was trying to follow the leaders. And you can see he just came out of the pits. His car doesn't look like it, but he did. And Talbot is sideways. You're not supposed to be sideways. Yeah, I believe he got in before it was called though, so I don't think he'll get the book thrown at him. Beard is scratchy. Maybe those are out of the race. No, Luke. No, Luke's on the track. That's a DNF. We've established that. So they were just on different pit cycles. They're so far away that they're only now getting up to the rest of the cars. And now we'll see who pits here. And it looks like most cars will be going in, if not all. Oh, Luke psyched us out, so he stays out. Jackson Altman had just pits, so he will obviously stay out. And then so will the 41. Is the 41 Scotty Standeber? That wouldn't make sense. I'd turn my tablet off. I'm an idiot. I figured out Scotty's name, the 41, at the end of Richmond, and then just like forgot by the end of today. Or going into today, I should say. Look, Allen, once again, with the really just interesting pitch strategies, puts himself in the lead. Where'd Jackson go? Maybe he might have gotten an EOL, possibly, for his pit stop, even if it wasn't really anything he could do about it. He couldn't just take advantage of that kind of timing like that. I don't think. Yeah, he got an EOL. It makes sense. I thought I did see a blue car, which is why I thought it was Jurgensmeyer. But I looked down at his onboard stream he's doing for me, and I didn't see it, so That is probably what just happened, and I'm just blind secretly. So I believe we'll be green this time, and we'll be coming up to 15 to go here. At this point, I'm beginning to wonder if we moved the choose cone to the second hairpin. That's what it's starting to look like, because people that are in the left lane keep going out there. Okay, I'm situationally blind, alright? I'm no earthbender. But we are about moments away from green here. It'll be Luke Allen in control of the start, which would be interesting. And we'll only just now notice that Jackson Tate is on the front row because of I think the reposition to choose cone stuff. And on Luke Allen's decision, green flag's back in the air from Sonoma. But Luke Allen did not... Oh no, he got a huge jump actually. He got a push from the 6. The 6 pushed him clear and therefore got himself clear of Jackson Tate. Which is very big news for the 6 because he's going to have a much easier time passing Luke, I would say, than he is passing Tate. It might have been his plan from the very beginning, now that I think about it. Not quite down the inside here, though. As Luke Allen kind of trail breaks a bit oddly and almost wrecks the 6 on the way in to the hairpin. Oh, big send. Jackson tries to get back down the inside of the 6, or just out of control. One of the two. He will be on his inside on the exit, but he's gonna not. His momentum's gonna go away. Luke manages to break very defensively, but that's only just gonna cost him on exit. As Heredia will make the very easy pass for the race lead, and Jackson Tate will be left to try and get ahead of him. This is exactly what the 6 wanted, and Luke is finally going to lose that spot, and also won to multiple other cars. He lost one place and you lose them all, pretty much. Oh, AJ gives his teammate a bump at the right-hander, and that's going to put AJ Knickel in second. Luke Allen's looking down the inside, but he's going to back out of that. More contact between teammate and team owner. And that is going to give Luke Allen a shot back at a third again, that he still won't be able to do anything with. And just like that, the 6 car now has like a 2 or 3 second lead because of just all the madness that took place in the battle for P2. 3/4 of the way done here in the Wine Country 175. Heredia has been the star of the show, much like he was for the majority of the race at Richmond. But we've had cautions in the mix, unlike Richmond, that have really thrown things around. My nose is getting stuffy. It's not great. 44R23 behind our race leader, but the 6 has a pretty decent margin. He's got a like 2 or 3 second cushion over the Canadian driver that's second place. We'll do this for the first time this week. We'll go on board with AJ Knickel, see if he can do anything to reel in that 6 car. He couldn't do much at Richmond, but maybe he can do something now. Oh, getting wiggles like that ain't gonna catch you much. Now he's swept with his teammate. Jackson Tate's gonna slip right on through. Never mind. Crossover administered. AJ holds on to second place with that one. Well, that's quite hypothetical considering PC2 doesn't even exist anymore, Logan. Tate's still trying to stake his claim on second place. He's still trying to maybe convince AJ that he's the one who should be chasing after him. Luke Allen is still in fourth. I thought he'd be falling down the order by now, but he's got a little something in the tank still. Perhaps some pit adjustments helping as well. Hello? Audio? Ay, ay, ay. Oh, Steven Maggio has retired the car, apparently. I didn't even notice that. He qualified super well. He got on the front row, but he just didn't get anywhere during the race. Jackson Tate, meanwhile, will get into second place with that move through the hairpin, or the first hairpin, I guess. There's like kind of three here. And behind them, Tanner Waskovich just snuck his way down the inside of the 7. He'll get into fourth place over the 7 car. Just like it was in the mid part of the race, now even towards the second half here, we're starting to kind of get into spread out field territory, especially now that the field has kind of thinned its numbers a bit with 1, 2, 3, 4 cars out of the running. And bringing our field down to a total of 11 cars, so almost a guaranteed top 10 for those who are still on the racetrack. Jackson Tate has escaped his teammate a little bit, but he's only ever going to find himself on an island between himself, AJ, and the leader of Heredia. Having said that, I look away for 10 seconds, and he's actually fallen off the racetrack and is now just outside the top 3. He's in 4th now. I don't know how I missed that. I just happened to look away right when he botched a corner. Tanner Waskovich going for 2nd on Knickel. And he is going to get it momentarily, but AJ's going to have a really good exit, and he's going to get back ahead of him down the S's. God, the 6 is gone again. And very clearly been the class of the field all night. And assuming his internet holds up, unlike last week, I don't think there's anybody that's going to be catching him anytime soon, especially if they're still vying for 2nd place this aggressively. Still nose to tail for 2nd. Jackson Tate trying to sneak his way into 3rd. He's not going to really do much there, though. Oh, Tanner's going to go through all of the grass there. Not really sure how you managed that one, but that will put Tate in third. Oh, big slide from the 24, and Luke Allen, with presumably a really bad wheel hop, finds himself out there in the grass. Second through sixth, including the 344 cars still on the track. Basically under a blanket. But with each car being stronger at different parts of the track, it's just going to be a mess, and they're not going to be able to stop battling each other. Which is only making things harder if anyone wants to get anywhere near the 6. And at this point, I'm beginning to think they don't care. They might just be going for seconds. They're just trying to pick up the table scraps, because the 6 car has been crushing it so far. Yeah, we're looking here at the leaders. They're just second place just crossed the line. Heredia is on the exit of 2. Apologies if my dumb dog is picking up on the mic. You shouldn't be. I have the door closed, but that dog's little yips and yaps are basically able to break the sound barrier sometimes, I swear. Tanner was apparently overtaken by the 19. I completely missed that. Don't know how. I was looking at him and everything. I don't know how I didn't see it happen. And he's going to try and do the same on his teammate. Oh, Jackson Tate's going to give the bumper to the 18 of AJ. And he will slow down to give the spot back. He does not want to run his teammate off the road like Blakey did to overtake him there a handful of laps ago. That has lost AJ 3 places. 22, 24, and the 19. So Blakey will now be the lead 44R car as AJ tries to pick his way back ahead of Tanner and Usman. He will get ahead of Tanner down the S's, so that was pretty easy for him. Not the best exit from there, though, so he might be under threat. I know it's going to be Luke Allen putting the moves on him, or trying. We see a crossover. We do not. Instead, we see a Tanner crossover. Crosses over 2 cars, and Luke is spinning in the background. I think he tried to get a little too much on exit to try and stay ahead of the 22, and instead just spun across the field. Everybody seemed to avoid it, though. Don't know how. Jackson Tate has fallen today. That's for sure. I am today, just like in this last, just since the restart. In the last, 10 laps. He just really had a rough go. I've really forgotten the order of things. Oh my god. I'm trying to reprocess who's running where now. Okay, so 6 is the leader, duh. And I think it's Blakey in second, then Musa here in third. Tanner Waskovich in fourth. Someone's off the track back there. Someone's off the track up there. That somebody is Musa. It's AJ Knickel around going down the S's. Not sure if forced or just trying to push the car, but that'll demote him quite a few spots, I think. Maybe not, actually. Sounds like maybe under yellow flag for probably whatever caused AJ to spin, or if he just was the last one on the car count. And so now with what looks to be... Oh, I won't be able to know exactly when Drew crosses the line. 7 to go, we have what should be our final yellow flag of the night. Unless we have something crazy happen on the restart, and that would afford us one more caution before we are just literally out of laps to have yellow flags on. What's that about? Oh, that might be a new one. I've certainly taken drinks in broadcasts. I've blown my nose in broadcasts. I've, done other things like that. I don't think this is definitely the first time I've ever had a break in a broadcast to eat a piece of candy. Because until we get out of here, that's all I can do to eat. And even then, I don't really know if I can keep doing that. Should be the final pit stops of the race. And Alex does the funny and doesn't pit, but the 19 was not at all swayed, and nor was anybody else, so they may all be getting fresh tires, and the 6 car may have just shot himself in the foot there. Not all, and Altman and Usman stay out. But for those who pit, if they choose to get fresh tires, they'll only have to pass 2 cars to get onto his bumper, and they will be faster. Because these tires are shredded by now. Okay, maybe not shredded, but they're not new either. I just looked down at the POV and I saw that Jergs were at about 70% as he's pitting. So, the tires would make it to the end, but they just won't be in very good shape at the end of the run. So we will be looking at, I believe, 5 to go when we get the green flag here, which might mean, unless we get a crash on the next lap. Oh, don't pull your earbuds out of your head, Riker. Or out of the controller, that'd be even worse. Get settled back in my chair and see and witness what should be the run to the checkered flag here, barring any dramatic circumstances, which, I mean, it's very possible we have dramatic circumstances, I won't lie. Now, Altman choosing this lane is interesting. That's going to put Tate as the lead car with presumably new tires in 3rd place, right behind the leader of Heredia. He's only going to have to pass the 24 to start pressuring him, and his tires are going to be fresher and faster. And on the 6 cars' commands, we are green from Sonoma for what could be the final time If we stay clean, that is. And my god, the 6 is gone. Not even the fresh tires could help Tate keep up with the front two there on that restart. They will, however, help him get ahead of the 24 heading up the S's. If I can find him on the driver list. There he is. And just like that, now suddenly the 6 is in danger. Jackson Tate could steal this. When the 6 has been the dominant car, but honestly, the pace difference between him and everybody else might just by default make up. Uh-oh, that's a bad wheel hop though, and Jackson Tate's gonna effortlessly take the lead with that bad bounce, and he's gonna be swallowed up by the pack as well. Musa gets ahead of him. Jackson Altman looking to do the same thing at the hairpin. Jackson's lost a lot of places at the hairpin today, but Altman might have just grabbed one here. Although the 6 is going to have a good exit. Good tires or not, Altman's are no better. This is only just hurting the ones behind them that do have fresh tires. Like the 19 and the 7. Oh, a huge bump. Luke Allen just doors AJ Kinnickle off the circuit. Crazy lane changes going on up ahead. Blakey Tuggle down the inside of the 43. What in the world were Luke and AJ doing there? Just ran the 22 right over. They're still playing pinball with the guy well after the exit. Let's see this from what Jurg saw. He was right behind this nonsense. Okay, I'm blind. I mean, the 22 was getting pinball, but it wasn't by the 44R cars. And the 7 is around on the exit of 2. And Jackson Tate is just off. I mean, he's not gone. Musa's still there, but he's got a cushion already. He's only been in the lead for a lap. Luke Allen appears to have some very bad handling at the moment. The car even just looked unstable there with the way that I showed the camera on him for just a couple of seconds. I just had to go on board with Tanner here just to see who was where on the track in front of him. This is for 5th place. He goes down the inside of Altman, doesn't get anywhere though. Heredia still trying to keep Blakey at bay, which would be for 3rd, I believe. Blakey doesn't quite go for anything here. 3 laps to go from Sonoma. Jackson Tate with a probably 2.5 or so lead over the 24 of Usman. And Heredia just trying to salvage what he can after a bit of a wrong strategy call. Admittedly, probably can't be much worse than 4th considering what it looks like behind him. Even if he lets the 19 pass, he still got a little bit of breathing room between 5th place of AJ Kinnickle. There we go. Blaskovich and Altman are both off the track in front of Jurgensmeyer. But Jurg isn't close enough to do anything about it. There you saw the lead. Probably about 2.5 seconds or so now, to Jackson Tate's credit. This is just his bag to fumble, really. The pit stop was the right call for the one driver that managed to pick his way through. The guy stayed out with pretty quick response time, all considered. These two are in the same about tire life, though. Neither of them pit, so this is This is for contention, and Heredia's gonna sneak his way through at the hairpin. He'll get back to P2, but getting back to the lead is a pretty distant thought at this point. Oh, word. My word. Hold on to it. Oh, word. It's a very not me thing to say. AJ had a look down the inside of his teammate, Blakey. He's going to instead cross over in reverse. It's a weird one there. It's not going to get him anywhere, though. He's going to remain 4th place as we, I believe, are about to take the white flag in the near future here. Indeed, looking down at the stream confirms that Jackson Tate is just a couple turns away from the white flag in the air. Just one more to go for the 11 to have completed the thievery, basically, is... Well, I mean, yeah, Heredia had the fastest car all day, but he made the wrong pit stop call. He didn't pit. And, yeah, it kept the guys that didn't pit in 2nd and 3rd, and Altman being wherever he ended up in, like, 6th by the looks of it. But Tate was able to get a good start, and just smelled blood in the water when the one mistake the 6th car made came up. I mean, Roy probably wasn't even much of his mistake, it was just the game being funny and wheel-hopping him like crazy through this very same carousel, which Jackson Tate avoids on this instance. So just the S's and the hairpin to go, and I guess 2 hairpins. This hairpin in turn 11. Just stay on the track. You don't even have to go fast. Just stay on the track. 11 car. About 2 seconds ahead of the leader. What? 2 seconds ahead of 2nd place. Yes, the leader is ahead of the leader. That's exactly how that works. I thought I saw a spin back here. No, I'm just blind. Turn 11. Get it low down. Jackson Tate, head out of the last turn here. He is going to take the overall victory here from Sonoma for the Wine Country 175. Consolation at best for the 6th car of Heredia, who only gets P2, but was clearly the fastest car today. 3rd place for Musa Usman, and then a 4-5 for the rest of 44R, with the 19 of Blakey Tuggle and the 18 of AJ Knickel. We had a lot of lead changes. This has definitely been much more exciting than Richmond. It had moments of nothing, but ultimately, the cautions made this race. Just made it a race in general. But, now that does it here from the Wine Country 175. The session's going to end any second now, so I'm just going to make my way out of here. I can now also close Jurgensmeyer's broadcasts. I have not been given instructions regarding interviews, so I'm just gonna not do them. I'm just gonna Tate immediately goes to the Discord. I didn't deserve that. I'm sorry for being awful. Interesting. But, yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave you guys here. But obviously first, quick mention to all of our sponsors. No sponsor for the race, no title sponsor for the race, but we do have DIVEBOMB Motorsport, ARC's premier partner and collaborative new media project, that's the word, right. assemblypro.com, ARC's league management partner, helps us organize stats and scheduling and recruitment alike. And you'll find races for just about any league on any game there. SimWrap Market, iRacing's largest marketplace of professional livery designs for iRacing, custom graphics, designs, number sets, whatever else you can think of to design a race car. IMB Racewear, ARC's sim racing apparel sponsor for sim racing gloves and boots to use on sim rigs. The Racing Rats are Assetto Corsa modding partners. They put out high-quality, free mods. I feel like that was the wrong sentence structure. And they work closely with us to make sure that our Assetto Corsa leagues go well. And lastly, both to James McAdam Photography and AJ Knickel Design, our partners in photography and graphic design that make the social media posts stick out. But that is all from me. And until next week, which is going to be a surprise 21st, we're adding a 21st race, but it's just 7th of the schedule. We'll be going to Auto Club next week. Same time, same place. Until then, I'm checking out.